Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning in. It is me, the only Olencia, and I am so excited to talk to you all today because this video is so long overdue. For years now, well, first of all, let me tell you who I am. I am a registered nurse. I am in emergency medicine. I've been an ER nurse for 3 years now, going on 4 by the end of 2019. So before I was a nurse, I was a volunteer. And without volunteering, I don't think I would be where I am today. And I also don't think that, I know for a fact I wouldn't have had many of the opportunities that I've had. And they have been some of the best, most fulfilling opportunities ever. The reason I'm making a video about this is because I can recall encountering people, mainly like my own type of people, that would say, like my close friends and my colleagues and stuff, they would be like, why are you volunteering? You're not going to get paid for that. I don't have time for that. And so it was so hard for me to just get my point across that although you're not getting paid, you are going to receive other benefits that are just invaluable, you know? So if I have a, like, ask yourself, like, if you are in the medical field, whether you are trying to become a registered nurse, an LVN, even a medical assistant, because I'll talk about that, how I went through an entire medical assistant program and I was not able to land a job because I had no experience to put on my resume. So nobody called me back. Wasted like $9,000 out of trade school. So we're going to talk about how you can become a volunteer. Hopefully you know why you should become a volunteer, but I'll explain that as well. And then I can even share with you some of my volunteer experiences. So without further ado, let's get started. So for starters, if you're in nursing school, if you are in a radiology program, interested in anything in the hospital, you have to understand that this is a highly saturated field where there are a lot of applicants for any job that you are applying for. You have to find a way to make yourself stand out from the crowd. One way to do that is by volunteering. It doesn't cost you anything, and it doesn't even require that much time. Like, you basically need to get your foot in the door somewhere to where you can use that place on your resume and build your resume. If you are interested in building your resume, please leave a comment below. If you are interested in resume templates, I have some for you that many students that I work with have been using, and it works for them. So how to volunteer. The first thing you want to do is research where you can volunteer at. And I will give you some pointers. One place that you can volunteer, that anybody can volunteer, and that everybody should volunteer when they're getting started, is the American Red Cross. Yes. So the Red Cross, 98% of their staff are volunteers. They love volunteers and they need volunteers, and they have so many different things that you can do. So if I were you, I would look out, research, reach out to your local chapter and sign up, go to an orientation and pick what you want to do. When I first got started, I was on their disaster action team, which sounded exciting to me, right? And it did not require that I go clock in hours or pick up trash on the side of the freeway or anything that you guys may be thinking or that people think when you say you're a volunteer. But it, so basically I signed up to be on call for disasters, which were primarily fires. Like if a family had an unfortunate house fire, they would call me, and I would be on the team to show up to the fire location, look through the house once it was deemed safe by the fire department, and basically help determine if the family would need placement in a hotel for the night. And boy, was that rewarding. I mean, how unfortunate is it for your house to burn down, for one? But I think when you're able to get out of your bed and everything's okay at your house, and you can pull up to this disaster and be there to help, and you have they give you a vest or, you know, whatever you need, and, you know, the checklist and your flashlight and all that good stuff that shows that you're there to help. The family is so grateful to see you, and just to know that you can help make this disaster a little bit better for them is very rewarding. So that would happen like once a month, or, you know, whenever, and I was able to put that on my resume. And it's not like you have to put down disaster action team, but I only went once or I only went twice. Like, put that on your resume, and as time continues to go by, that's the longer that you will have, you know, have volunteered with them. In addition to that, they also offer where you can, like, if you say you're in the medical field, as I was at the time, I was an emergency medical technician at EMT, and so I was able to volunteer at the Nike Marathon at the First Aid Station, or Beta Breakers, things like that. So those are just fun events, you know, that I got to do and be exposed to. And then after volunteering for the Red Cross, I also volunteered at the local hospital. So if you live in a city where there is a trauma center or a teaching hospital, I highly recommend, if you don't do anything else, please reach out to this hospital and find out how you can be a volunteer, okay? Because they're not going to tell you, oh, thanks, you want to work for free, come sign up Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. No. So I was a volunteer at a trauma center in California, in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I was a volunteer in the emergency department, and it took some time to get up there. You really have to, that's if that's what you're interested in. If not, get into the hospital and let them know that you're interested in becoming a labor and delivery nurse, or you're interested in becoming a physical therapist, or whatever you want to do. If you are passionate about it, let me tell you, people will see your passion, and that will take you so far. Okay, so get in the hospital. And when I signed up, I remember my first 40 hours had to be completed in the gift shop. So I was like, I'm trying to be in the ER, and I'm trying to get to the action, and I'm trying to do blah, 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 blah. They were like, nope, have a seat at the register and ring up the candy. So that was weird, but you really have to humble yourself. And you have to realize that you want to slowly acclimate your way up and slowly climb up to where you're trying to be. You don't want to just go and be thrown into some ER. You won't know what the heck to do, you know? So the cool thing about starting in the gift shop was that I was able to meet the staff in the hospital. So as the doctors and nurses came in, or housekeeping, or whoever they were, as they came in to buy things, I was the one there, and that put my face out there. So by the time I did get into the ER, they kind of knew who I was, and all that I was required to do was 4 hours a week. That's it. I remember I used to go from like 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on my day off, and you just log in your time, and I learned so much. One reason why you want to volunteer is because when you finish school, as you're going through your rounds or your clinicals for school, like, it's going to give you a leg up to know how the hospital works and what's expected of you when you're there. Basic things like how to operate a patient's gurney, how to do an EKG, where the CT room is, where the x-ray department is, where pharmacy is. You're going to learn the ins and outs of that hospital, and then you're going to learn the staff. You're going to form relationships with the staff, and they will advocate for you to get your first job. So fast forward to after I did years of volunteering, when I got my first nursing job, I remember I sat down with my potential manager, and the first thing she said was, "So tell me about this volunteer work." And oh my God, I just felt so happy, you know, because I knew that was something I could talk about. I knew that it had paid off. She was interested in it. Like, yes, please let me tell you about it, because of that, I feel like I am ready and that you should offer me my first job. And she did, and I became a registered nurse in the emergency department. And boy, things have really taken off since then. So, I also want to say that as you volunteer, there will be signs that the universe will offer you that will let you know that you are in the right place. And you will start to feel good. Like I'm gonna make a separate video about some of the encounters and experiences I've had, but namely, because I was a volunteer, I was offered the opportunity to go to Africa, and I went. And I was just in the right place at the right time. And so, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me, and I'll tell you all about my experience to the motherland and what international nursing and volunteering is like, what it's all about. Follow your dreams, be blessed, and leave a comment below to let me know what questions you have and how I can be of help, because we got to get it. Nobody's going to give it to us. So be blessed, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.